share facts with you, facts about the real threat to all of humanity.
These are the facts that specialists from various fields and independent analysts of the Creative Society project have been collecting and analyzing on the volunteer basis for several decades. Behind every fact you will hear today, there are serious scientific studies, years of observation, and careful analysis. Everything we predicted 10 years ago is coming true today. It terrifies us. We don't want to scare anyone, but we cannot remain silent and inactive.
You might ask, who are we? Who are these people? Well, we are just ordinary people, just like you. I am a simple person. Yes, I'm a journalist, but I am a person. I'm a human being. Simple volunteers, I'm a volunteer, and among whom there are representatives from various professions and scientific fields. We come from different nationalities, belief systems, ages, occupations, you name it. But we're all here for one purpose. We're all uniting for the desire to save our planet, to save our lives, and most importantly, to save our children's lives.
Absolutely. Throughout today's forum, you will hear from various speakers, experts, scientists from different fields of science, well-known bloggers, public figures, and ordinary people who care deeply about the future of humanity. Many speakers from various countries around the world will join us. And right now in the studio in Atlanta, USA, we have with us Marina Ovtsinova, who serves as president of ALLATRA International Public Movement. Her research interest resides between the psychosocial impact of climate change and its relationship to transnational security. It is also worth noting that Marina is also active on Capitol Hill. She's currently pursuing advanced studies in public leadership at the Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University. With us also is Julia Najib. Julia is an investigative journalist, news producer, and award-winning journalist. Julia specializes in investigating contemporary societal crises. It is important for Julia to understand the real causes of climate change on the planet and to determine how to safeguard humanity from the impending large-scale crisis. Stephen Caston is an athlete, entrepreneur, representative of the professional sports community, and a public activist. Stephen's work is focused on changing the format of our society to improve the living conditions for people in various areas. Also joining us today in the studio are representatives from the Department of Information and Analytical Support for Global Climate Change Issues of the International Project Creative Society. They will acquaint us with the key findings of years of research conducted by independent analysts and scientists in Earth geodynamics and climate changes. John Ahn, PhD, MBA, an expert in climate change, the development of new technologies in the energy sector, chemical processes, and natural sciences, is a member of the Earth Study Analytical Department of the Creative Society Project. Telly Shkurupi is a system analyst and an independent researcher on climate change issues. Today, John and Tali will tell us about the upcoming forecasts for large-scale climate events on the planet, what they're related to, and the threats they pose to humanity and each of us. Now, stay with us until the end, as today, in the last part of the forum, you will for the first time see and hear the most outstanding scientists of our time. These are scientists who since 1996, for 27 years, have dedicated themselves entirely to studying the causes and consequences of climate and geodynamic changes on Earth. They are the pioneers of new world of science. Today, you will be presented with their climate catastrophe forecasts for various countries in the coming years. Additionally, you will learn about their proposed theory for potentially mitigating all catastrophic processes. It is based on modern research and advancements in cutting-edge science. Furthermore, you will discover the most crucial aspect that concerns many today. What force is causing all these geodynamic changes on our planet, where it originates, and how contemporary humanity can resist it?
Dear viewers, I would especially like to note that everything you see now, this studio, lights, cameras, people organize all of this on their own. All the people you see in front of you now, speakers, technical support, camera operators, all these people are volunteers. We did all of today's forum, ordinary people, using our own money saved from our salaries, money held for vacations and entertainment, using our own resources and time.
Indeed, many of us have taken time off work to fully dedicate our time to preparing and participating in this forum. What you see is just the tip of the iceberg, just a tiny part of the vast number of participants in the international project, the Creative Society. Our broadcast is being translated into 100 languages, and all the interpreters are volunteers as well. The streams on hundreds of different platforms and live broadcasts on social media are done by ordinary people themselves. As participants and representatives of the international project, the Creative Society, we dream of a creative society. This is our dream, just like the dream of any sensible person, to create conditions where our children can live in stable, prosperous, and united world, where there are no wars, poverty, no incurable diseases, where every person lives in abundance, comfort, and most importantly, in safety. Considering the current situation in the world, the primary reason we have come together is the climate threat. Because if we don't address this issue, there will be neither a consumer society in which we currently live, nor a creative one. We must be clear and understandable to you. So we want to emphasize that our primary motivation and priority are our children's lives. If we preserve the lives of our children, we will also preserve this planet. Then we will have the time and opportunity to build both the creative society and an ideal one. By safeguarding our future and the future of this planet, humanity will sooner or later come to a unified understanding of the need for development in the creative direction, and incredible prospects will open up before us. Therefore, we take action ourselves, driven by our enthusiasm and personal motivation. Unfortunately, there are no organizations or governments that support us.
You know, Olga, let's emphasize unfortunately, because if someone were actually sponsoring us, we would be able to have more information out there to the masses. We would be further along with our Creative Society project. All of you would have already heard about it and what's going on with the catastrophes worldwide. And you would already have heard about the Creative Society on globally. They would have heard about it through mass media, television channels, and from all global media platforms.
Yes, Julia, indeed. If we would be getting any help from anyone, this would be broadcasted on TV. But all of this is done by ordinary people. So you're watching this right now on YouTube, and you can see that there is restriction 18+ on it. And you know what? We put that intentionally because we want to have a chance to show you at least a little bit of that horrifying reality of consequences of escalating climate catastrophes. If you want to watch today's forum without censorship, please switch to Rumble. And regardless, even with that, we still had to leave out a huge part of the content because psychologically it's very heavy. And it is a shocking material itself. And you're adults and you're supposed to understand that. The catastrophe is becoming much more severe and ruthless. And we have been talking about this for over a decade, but here in 2023, the destruction on our planet has reached such a fundamentally new level that we have never seen anything like this before. Even a year ago, there was no such rate of catastrophes and progression of global climate crisis around the world that we are witnessing today. This year, the series of devastating and anomalous earthquakes shook the world. The ones we've seen in Turkey, in Syria, Morocco, Afghanistan, Iceland, and much more, and other countries around the world. So many countries were affected. And you might have seen on the TV and internet people sharing pictures of red auroras. That has never been observed in such numbers around the world in places where that never has happened before. Oceans, anomalously warm, more than ever in history of any instrumental observations. According to the forecast, this year will be the hottest in the past 125,000 years. I'll repeat, 125,000 years, and this year is not even over yet. Category 5 hurricanes have formed in all basins, all tropical ocean basins worldwide, for the first time in history. Let's compare this rate, this progression of climate catastrophes to a plane that was on a runway last year. It was speeding up, but this year it sharply took off. And now it's climbing up rapidly to the point of no return.
Yes, the threat that we're currently facing comes from the outer space. It's not a climate weapon. It is a cosmic influence that occurs in our solar system every 12,000 years. And once every 24,000 years, this effect becomes even stronger and more dangerous. And currently, we're in the midst of the most powerful phase of this cycle. The cosmic influence affects the core of our planet and the cores of other planets in the solar system. This energy from the cosmic influence keeps increasing, leading to the heating and the imbalance of the Earth's core. The Earth's core has shifted and become unbalanced, and this has changed everything. The magnetic field, the Earth's crust, the oceans, the glaciers, the volcanoes, and the earthquakes. But it will get even worse. Supervolcano eruptions and mega earthquakes, floods that resemble the biblical flood. We can say this with 100% certainty because exactly the same events occurred in the previous cycles 12 and 24,000 years ago. But today, we have even more challenging conditions.
Yes, John, it is very important to understand that previously, even through the worst catastrophes, life has always continued on our planet. And even though many species died out, but the life continued. But this time, because of the format of our society, which does not value environment, does not value human life, it only cares about consumption and money, we did something that has never been done on our planet. We killed the ocean. And right now, that protective mechanism that was supposed to cool down our planet through the peak of this 24,000-year cycle, it's not there anymore. It is the way that we deprived ourselves and our children of the future. It was the final blow, and it was an anthropogenic factor. Yes, we, humanity, made a significant impact on the way the things are going right now. We ourselves have put that last nail into the coffin of our own civilization, because we people, we killed the ocean. Therefore, this cycle, our Earth may perish alone with all the people on it. Just become like Mars, a barren, lifeless planet with no signs of life whatsoever.
So here, I want to share my story. When I started coming